Give me a T. Give me an A. Give me an LOS and also Roman numeral 2. What does that spell?
Slots!
Slots. Win big. You may be a winner.
I want to gamble with my philosophy.
That's always a good time. Welcome back to Talos Principle II. How y'all doing?
Hello, everybody.
So I briefly skimmed the VOD to get caught up. The way it was going, I thought that was the end of the game with, Prometheus Unbound, blah, blah, blah. But I guess you've still got some things to do.
No, there's still another quarter of the game to go.
Damn. Nice.
Against decay, from selected archive documents A through C. We live in a decaying system, which in turn produces ideologies of decay to justify its existence. No matter what cultural signifiers they get packaged with, these ideologies come down to the same material result, a future in which for the average person there is less of everything. To paraphrase Mark Fisher, we find it easier to imagine the decline of civilization than to imagine a civilization worth living in. Those of us who still believe that humanity can thrive, that there is a path forward other than willful or accidental decay, are out of sync with the system. No matter how we phrase our arguments, they will be perceived in terms of whatever cultural signifiers a listener opposes. It's a deeply frustrating, depressing, even infuriating situation. But what can we do except patiently explain and hope conditions change? In other words, what can we do except have faith? This was written only a few months before the discovery of the virus. There was no time for conditions to change. Hypatia's Journal number 11. From Hypatia's Journals, Volume 1, The Founding of New Jerusalem, Day 882. It's been a while since I last wrote an entry in my journal. Much has changed in New Jerusalem. We've put up a good chunk of the planned living quarters, and the old storage facility has been converted into a movie theater of all things. So we still argue a lot, but now it's mostly about which film we'll be watching next. Other construction efforts are going well too, although we've begun to run out of readily accessible resources. Our scavenging expeditions are ranging further and further afield with each passing month, and the sites that they have reported on sound truly marvelous. One day I might want to go see for myself. It's a good thing in that regard that we'll getting 2 new citizens soon, because everyone is as busy as ever. More hands to help us build our future. I can't wait to meet them.
How is this supposed to work? The system is meant to last centuries. Centuries! And yeah, Chernyshevsky's plan, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But I'm working with hardware that was deliberately designed to fail. Planned obsolescence, baby. Selling broken garbage just to make another buck. A buck you can't even spend because in a few more weeks, we'll be extinct. Was it worth it? That's the part that Alexandra doesn't see. The greed, the stupidity, the selfishness, the way that we created this whole situation in the first place. She wants you to be like us, but if you ask me, there's a whole lot of human history and behavior you can just throw away, chuck it in the trash, right? You have a chance at a fresh start. Make the best of it.
You know, when I decided that we should call ourselves human, I did that because it seemed like a powerful symbol of our continuity. But the truth is, and I'm ashamed to admit this, I thought we were better than them. I thought we understood the value of civilization, and we wouldn't repeat the same mistakes. But the simulation worked too well.
We're not just like them. We are them.
We really are.
But that doesn't have to be a bad thing, Athena. We may have the same flaws, but we also have all the potential they did. Everything that Alexandra Drennan saw in them is also in us.
I hope you're right. I really do.
I don't know, bodies that don't age can live for thousands of years, don't get sick or sleepy or stuff. It does sound better.
Yeah, but they also don't know what burgers taste like. And those are really good. Maybe I'm just hungry.
They also cannot taste spicy foods.
That's true. No hot wings for these automatons. Seems like chat's leaning towards burgers. Chat, if you had to decide between burgers or pizza, you have to give one of those. Which would it be? I'd probably give it pizza, to be honest. Okay, if you have to give up burgers or pizza, which one?
The Jonas, chat knows which is the superior cuisine. Last month I went to this burger place and it had a habanero sauce burger. Really good but way spicy. You would have loved it.
I believe you. Boxer, how dare you? How dare you even say... I would probably give up hot wings. I need my coffee. I don't need hot wings to survive. I love them, but I kind of need my coffee. It's kind of critical. Especially around this time of year when everything is dark and gloomy and overcast.
How would I even connect that?
See, if I have to go with hot wings, I can still have mild wings, and I do enjoy mild wings too. So there you go. I've never fully adjusted to Seattle's winter climate. It weighs upon the soul and makes me want to write dark poetry.
Jonas, which would you give up, coffee or your blood? They're equally critical for you.
So let's just do it like that.
I'll give up my blood. I'll just see if I can replace it with nothing but coffee. I'm sure life can be sustained that way.
Come on, why can't I just put it in?
Can't you just... Rick, stop doing it wrong, do it right. Can't believe you. I'd be done with it by now. No. Boxer's up in the stakes. Now he's making me choose between coffee and wings. Still coffee.
Rick, it's not like you can slide something under a floating platform. That'd be silly.
Well done, 1K.
It's gonna be like, Jonas, you have to choose between coffee and being alive. I'll choose coffee. I just keel over with a thumbs up.
You had to choose between coffee and happiness.
Coffee. I mean, I live in Seattle. Happiness is optional up here anyway.
Archive message from Arunia to Athena. Athena, I know that we didn't have the greatest relationship and I frequently antagonized you. The truth is, I resented this mythology of the Founder. I thought you had created it deliberately as a way of controlling us. I wanted so badly to be free, and you seemed to stand in the way of that. Only after you left and the cult of personality grew even wilder did I realize it was actually a burden and an impediment to you. When they turned your myth into the opposite of everything you actually believed, started tearing down your dreams in your own name, I realized I'd wronged you. And now I'm less free than ever. I feel the walls crushing me. I don't know where you are or what you're doing. I don't know if coming back would fix things, but I'm sorry. Arunia. Atlas and Ladon, from the Atlas Variations by Athanasios. After a billion years, when Atlas had grown old and tired of holding up the world, he was faced with a dilemma. Heracles, the son of Zeus, was on the way to the Garden of the Hesperides to claim the golden apples, which were guarded by the dragon Ladon. Zeus came to Atlas and promised that if Atlas helped Heracles slay the dragon, Zeus would free Atlas from his burden. But Atlas, seeing the beauty and innocence of Ladon, beloved of the Hesperides, could not slay the beast. Instead, he stole the apples and gave them to Heracles, and so he was condemned to bear the weight of the cosmos for another billion years. But though Atlas grieved for his freedom, he was comforted by watching Ladon flourish in the verdant garden. Joy and beauty from the soul of man. Sympathy with pain there will, of course, always be. It is one of the first instincts of man. The animals, which are individual, the higher animals, that is to say, share it with us. But it must be remembered that while sympathy with joy intensifies the sum of the joy in the world, the sympathy with pain does not really diminish the amount of pain. It may make man better able to endure evil, but the evil remains. Sympathy with consumption does not cure consumption. That is what science does. Christ made no attempt to reconstruct society, and consequently the individualism that he preached to man could be realized only through pain or in solitude. The ideals that we owe to Christ are the ideals of the man who abandons society entirely or of the man who resists society absolutely. But man is naturally social. Even the Thebaid became peopled at last. And though the Cenobite realizes his personality is often an impoverished personality that he so realizes. That's Cenobite as in, like, the type of monk, not from Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Shallow speakers and shallow thinkers in pulpits and on platforms often talk about the world's worship of pleasure and whine against it, but it is rarely in the world's history that its ideal has been one of joy and beauty. When you tell people that a society could be built on the ideals of joy and beauty, they think you're a utopian fantasist. If you tell them society will always be built on exploitation and greed, they think you're wise, and so they make the outcome inevitable. Performative cynicism has always been the hallmark of adolescence. But has there ever been a society of adults? Can there ever be one? Why is this childishness so extremely powerful, more powerful than joy and beauty?
Because play is an eternal force that stays with us through our entire lives.
Play is dangerous. It leads to innovation.
Yeah, play is dangerous. It leads to people working together and figuring out how to work with others, and then that means if you have people cooperating.
I mean, that's
you
the
think
idea.
one person is dangerous, two people cooperating is more than twice as harmful.
I mean, that's the ideal outcome, I guess. I remember when I played as a kid with like other kids, it just as often end up in fights. You know, depends entirely on how things go. It's a complicated negotiation process. Of course, I was
How
kind
do
of.
you know fighting was not a normal part of your social structure?
I don't mean like I would fight. I mean like sometimes I would accidentally irritate other kids.
No, I think it sounds like you were fighting, Joe.
Okay,
I think you would punch a guy in the mouth and you'd be like, "Nuh-uh,
Face.
RoboCop is stronger than that."
Yeah, what was that? 87? That would have been 10. I guess it's possible I could have gotten an argument of RoboCop. Though I didn't see it until the 90s. My mom definitely would not let me watch a movie like that.
Good aim, Rick.
By the way,
no, you need to
RoboCop.
just
Then
say
it needs to shut down. Let's see. Is that just in this puzzle?
No, I think you just need to have it connected to the platform, have the platform keep going back and forth,
Yeah.
and you just jump on it at the right part of the cycle.
I'm just looking to see if that's all that I need to do for this entire puzzle.
And by the way, RoboCop definitely could have beaten up those other guys.
Doesn't stay for long.
Not gonna be there long enough, is it?
So what if I did it a different way?
Oh no. Living on the edge there.
Oh, I see. Strange.
What happened?
I don't know. Stuff.
That just bounces off of it.
Okay.
Yeah, these count as obstacles.
I do.
Yeah, you need to make that line first, and then the line to the platform, I think.
That works.
Okay. We'll jump up there. It's only going to be active for like a split second.
Also, hello, Zeronian entity.
I was looking at your research log, and I was rather perplexed by the latest upload.
Oh, Melville strikes again.
Is that your foot, Melville?
Yes. Do you want to see it up close? Although you won't be able to fully enjoy it as you don't have a rear camera.
Sorry, Mayor. Melville just has a unique way of taking pictures.
Next time you're getting an upgrade, you coot. I'm installing a mute button.
Legatron says, also Jonas, any update on making Frederick's mouth open when he talks like Stitch playing a record?
Do I have a
It's funny she
Yes,
mentioned that.
but
Mine
not
says
saying
purpose is
much.
something we choose,
Oh, okay. That's right.
but I feel like there's something there. Something that's been there from the moment I was born. Maybe even before.
Well, there are many ways of looking at this, and everyone's experience is different, so you'll have to make up your own mind. But I have a little theory, if you'd like to humor your old man.
Of course. What is it?
The universe is eternal, but it's always lost in a deep, dreamless sleep. You are a tiny little bit of the universe that's suddenly woken up, and you've realized that being awake is better than being asleep. And that gives you a purpose.
And what is my purpose?
To be, Miranda. Just to be.
You can be a tiny little infinitesimal, unimportant speck of the universe as long as you're awake for it.
I guess I'm doing this now.
Do it. Look at those particle effects. They're so fizzy. touch it!
How am I supposed to get up there? It doesn't let me walk on those. At least it didn't in a previous level.
Did they lack collision or something, or?
No, they just rejected you.
Oh.
Look, now I can walk on it.
Wah, wah.
Utopia is impossible, but the future that is possible will seem like a dream to those who are alive now.
What can I do for you? It's possible.
If you run along those tracks all the way, you eventually fall off through them.
To Byron, but yeah, seems likely. But even if it is a myth, that doesn't mean we can just abandon it. Myths can contain elements of truth, and I think this one exists for a reason. Maybe we had to create this imaginary founder because the real one lost her way. It's the only way I can explain what she's built here. She got wrapped up in her ideas and lost all sense of perspective. People have thought they understood everything before. Obviously, Athena has unlocked tremendous powers, but forgive me if I'm skeptical that her theory really encompasses everything. Not just our ability to know, but our need to know. More equations aren't going to make us any happier. Byron couldn't stand him. Have you ever tried asking the mayor a difficult question? He used to say. But I think he does an all right job, to be honest. I try to stay out of their circuits, and they try to stay out of mine. Helga is an old friend, but the others, they're not my crowd. He's smarter than people give him credit for. There's more to some folks than meets the eye, you know.
What a simp. What a Galumba. Look at this Galumba galumbaing for the mayor.
Yeah, you tell him.
Not quite high enough.
Gotta go even higher.
Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast.
Fast.
Gotta go fast.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Okay.
Pew asking, I got a question for all the Roo Crew. What game do you think will win Game of the Year?
Oh, let me look up the nominees.
And where?
Baldur's Gate RPG of the Year, Tears of the Kingdom Game of the Year. It's between Baldur's Gate and Tears of the Kingdom, I think.
Oh boy. See, I don't
But
know
I think
all.
Tears of the Kingdom will cinch it out.
Nice.
And of course, we'll get a GTA 6 announcement during the Game Awards, I'm assuming.
They
said they're going to show a trailer in December, and I'm like, yeah, I think I know exactly what day.
Yeah. They kept pestering Jeff for details, but he was very careful about what he was saying. Game of the Year. Game of the Year.
Oh, Keeley? Yeah,
Awards.
Keeley is a
When are
professional.
those?
Okay.
Sorry, what'd you say, Mel?
I said, you said
Oh, at the
Keeley
Game
was being
Awards.
careful.
When are those?
Oh, December. Hang on.
It's like the 4th or 5th usually.
the 7th, December 7th at 4:30 p.m. Pacific. It's one. I put it as an event in the server. It's on the calendar.
You get this through that gate, and then all the way over there. And
I would
me all the way
like-
over there.
I would like to see Tears of the Kingdom be Game of the Year. I'm guessing it's probably going to be Baldur's Gate. Not that I have a huge amount invested either way, but you know.
I want to see Tears of the Kingdom get Game of the Year just because the thing of like, yeah, so we finished the game and then we spent a year polishing it. It's just like, that needs to be the fucking mantra of going forward in game dev. It's just like, hey, make the game good instead of making it sooner.
Yeah, don't throw it out there, you know, with half a coat of paint. But yeah, my guess is Baldur's Gate. I have a feeling on that. I'm not gonna put any money on that, but I have a feeling. I guess we'll see.
We will see.
Never see. Either that or like Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Rick, what's your pick?
I think Baldur's Gate 3 should win it.
Lord of the Rings Gollum? No. Lord of the Rings Gollum isn't even the worst game that came out this year because of that fucking Kong game that came out like a month ago.
Rick, did you even play BG3 anymore?
Yes.
Did you get to Act 2 or 3?
No.
This is still just the same problem.
Yeah. Is there a way that I could just... here?
Well, personally I think it'd be a hard choice between Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would like to see Tears of the Kingdom take it, but I just have a feeling it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3, which is, fine. Baldur's Gate 3 is a great game. I have my own preferences.
Tears of the Kingdom has a slight edge because of Goat Daddy.
What does this receiver do?
If Baldur's Gate had more furry races, it would have been the easy winner.
I mean, true.
Games like that-
my personal pick would actually be Tears of the Kingdom because I've actually played that more.
Yeah.
The thing with Baldur's Gate 3, though, is it's done like a lot for the CRPG that everybody knew was possible and nobody had just bothered doing it until now.
I mean, didn't Tears also innovate quite a bit?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so both of them do need to be activated to get through.
This puzzle took me a while to figure out.
PS is on amazed Final Fantasy 16 got no nominations. Really? Final Fantasy 16 is the like most box standard high budget video game that really doesn't do or mean much I've ever seen.
From what I've heard, it was pretty much just paint by the numbers, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Also, it's interesting.
I like it.
I've noticed that when you aim two different colored lasers at one receiver, they don't cancel out. I'm pretty sure they did in the first game.
I don't think so. I don't remember that at least.
Lasers.
This will do for me.
Lasers!
So many lasers. A fruit-flavored laser fusion.
A fruit lasered
Extremely
fusion.
What games
loud,
are we looking
incorrect
forward to for 2024?
Sorry, are you asking what you're looking forward to, or are you asking what we're looking forward to?
What games are we looking forward to for 2024?
Let's see. Well, Thousand Year Door is getting a remake, as I understand it.
Yep.
I'm gonna look at the old wish list. There's a game called Pacific Drive, which is a driving / survival simulator set in the Pacific Northwest that I'm a little bit curious about. It looks kind of moody and interesting. Mercury Abbey is supposed to get like a full release at some point, I guess. 4D Golf.
Accumulator red helps at all.
4D Golf was kind of interesting just because, you know,
Does it?
what could make a golf game more fun than adding a non-Euclidean dimension? We all know Miller's gonna have a good time. Maybe I'll do it for my birthday and make Miller play. Let's see what else. There are definitely other games I was pumped about, but I can't remember any of them right now because my brain is mushy. Well, fingers crossed that we might see yet another update to Satisfactory, maybe even 1.0, maybe. Doubtful, but it'd be nice. Man can dream.
One could dream.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to wait as
I
long
can't move that at all.
You know, I'll wait as long as necessary. As long as it comes before I hit retirement age. Anyway.
Sorry.
No. Other than that, there was that, I forget what it's called, that cute little cat simulator game, Little Kitty Big City or whatever it is. And of course the next chapter of Deltarune, I guess. I don't know. What about you guys? What are you pumped about?
I'm reading that Nina the Hollower was originally planned for next month, but I can't find any updates.
Oh yeah.
So I guess maybe 2024.
I don't know what's going on with that, Nina. I'd forgotten about it. Yeah, probably next year.
What was their last update that they made?
Oh shit.
Because I think that was just a month ago.
What was the last thing they said?
I mean, I'm always interested for when Frostpunk 2 comes out, but I have no idea if that's going to be next year.
I'm not seeing anything about a release date. Like, they talk about development and show some of the graphics, but I'm going all the way back to summer, and they're not really getting into it. I don't know. Probably means whenever they can. Look, if they're taking time to
Looking at a release date calendar for 2024, there's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in February. They're gonna take 20 years to remake Final Fantasy VII, aren't they?
Yes.
I mean, if a game takes a while to make it ideal, that's fine by me.
Honestly, I tried the first part and they just padded everything so much it felt boring. How did they make FF7 boring?
Because they took the first part that's supposed to be like 2-3 hours and made it into a 40-hour game. What do you expect? They added very little narrative complexity to that first part of the game, and yet they had to make it go so much longer.
says Homeworld 3. He says things about Prime 4 would be nice. Megatron's dueling over Reindeer Rick.
Okay, so the accumulator needs to be red and blue at the same time, which makes no sense. So I need to get both of these items inside of there. But if I do that, there's nothing to hold down the button.
I mean, you?
I'd have to be standing over here in order to do that. So I guess if I move it first, that's probably what I need to do. Figure out how to unlock this and move it.
Anyway, for news, it seems like Warner Brothers got browbeaten into letting streaming services release Coyote vs. Acme, which everyone is interested in doing.
I had not heard of that.
Wait, of the what?
Oh, I heard about this. Wow. I think Stoker told me about this. It's, apparently it's like a live-action animation combined thing. And it's got, like, James Gunn is involved somehow. It involves, like Wile E. Coyote trying to sue the Acme Corporation. And apparently Warner Brothers wasn't too happy about it.
Yeah, like Roger Rabbit or that other Warner Brothers mixed live-action movie. I think it was called Back in Action.
Yeah, nice.
That means both of these we need to do.
Yeah, at first I kept assuming I needed everything to be on it the first time. That was the problem.
And you swap them around. Or do you swap them around? Yes. No. How do you get in here then?
Cleverly.
I did this before.
Tice says last I heard they're shopping around to find a distributor. Yeah, they basically said they're like, okay, you can take the photo shoot and find a different producer or a different like publisher for it, which seems wild that you would make an Acme like Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner like thing with that IP and then go, yeah, no, someone else can release it. It's just like, what? What happened to the like last 40 years where you guys got pissed off if somebody mentioned a piece of your IP without paying you $20?
The founder has a remarkable gift for designing these trials, but then
The word
she
you're
did have
looking
to
for is
overcome
Zaslav.
Elohim, whose very purpose was to design trials.
Is that what?
David Zaslav, the guy who killed a whole bunch of streaming shows.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah. Not my favorite guy, I gotta say.
Yeah, he's probably running Warner Brothers into the ground.
Yay!
The reason I have always admired Alexandra Drennan is that even in death, she fought to see the world as it is, not as she wanted to see it. I say fought because I believe this is not an easy matter. It is a mental and spiritual
Calling it
struggle.
Warner
that
Brothers
we
gets
must
bought out by
undertake
Disney.
with great seriousness,
Ugh.
even when we are joking. The ancients believed
Disney
that for
does
most
not
of
have
us,
the money
the
right
world
now.
is a shadow cast by a flame, dimly
Yeah.
seen on the wall of a cave. Our task is not to interpret these shapes, but to free ourselves from the cave itself.
Disney's having one of those decades.
I mean, there's got to be a point where you have something like Disney, and you actually do want them to buy something like Warner Brothers, because then literally every single trust organization in the world is going to be like, "Yep, that's the straw. You're done. You're breaking you up."
Could they stop Disney though? I mean,
Well, no, they wouldn't stop Disney. They would say, "Okay, Disney has become a monopoly. Now we're time to break up Disney."
well, I mean, would they be able to? Yeah, I guess they could. I guess ultimately, God. Wouldn't that
But
be
you
a
think we
hell-
can only do that with steel and oil companies?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like Disney would really fight that a lot of money.
Of course they would
I don't
fight
know.
it.
Disney's lawyers are rabid or something, so they might get away with it.
That does not necessarily have any bearing.
Yeah.
God.
See, I don't know though about that kind of theory anymore, because I was like, yeah, the Activists is never gonna happen, or if it does, then they're just gonna split up Microsoft, because like, no, that's way too big. And then it went through, and basically every court was like, yes, but we'll just have some tiny little adjustments. Excuse me. And then you're good. And I'm like, oh, I see. We just don't care about monopolies anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
I have no idea what I'm doing here. Have
Also,
these-
that's what telecoms are doing these days, right?
I mean, that's what happened to telecoms in like the late 90s, early 2000s, I believe. Because a lot of them got broken up.
Yeah, and now they're big again.
Well, yeah, because the trust busting, all it did was break up the trust that already existed. It did not then create the systems or the environment in which that trust could not form again, which is what's happening. It's just forming again anyway. Oh god. Disney buys Warner Brothers and it becomes Yakko, Wacko, and Disney Dot.
At least in Europe they care a little more about consumer protection stuff and law.
Yeah, they're also just a bit more... It's weird because they're a bit more aware of those kinds of things as well.
Yeah.
Like, I was interested to see why the UK... Was the UK or EU opposed the ActiBliz acquisition? It was because they're like, oh, then Microsoft has a monopoly on video game streaming services, and it's like, wait, actually, you're right. Heck.
Heck a dang heck.
Because then it's like the Blizzard launcher and Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass is like the only streaming video game service that's really usable. And then that would all be under one roof, and that's not okay. The UK did? Yeah. I mean, it was a good concern to have. They just solved it in a fucking stupid way, a really weird way. Which is that they gave all of the streaming game licensing stuff to Ubisoft. For some reason, Ubisoft got like roped into this deal and is now the like arbiter of these things. I don't quite understand.
Because the EU is more concerned about consumers because of the same reason that the US is. It's being protectionist.
Yeah.
So the reason that Ubisoft got roped into it is because it's a French company. It's like, oh, we can get some of our people in on this.
Guess. It just still feels like the EU government is like, we don't like monopolies unless we can get our own people in there. If we can get a piece of the pie, then monopolies will look the other way on.
Yeah, I feel like the EU is a lot stricter about consumer protections because they have to figure out how to regulate trade between their member nations. The United States automatically has free trade between states, so that doesn't have to come up very much unless it's like California is making some mandate or Texas is making some mandate, and then just everybody just follows California or Texas depending on which one is most convenient anyway. I don't understand this. How am I supposed to get the driller over here? Unless... no way to angle it.
Can you teleport through the glass panes? Like if you see a teleporter through them, can you do that?
Cannot.
That's impossible.
I do not know if you cannot do the driller through the glass panes either, because it just stops at the glass.
So weird then. Why are those there? Why those and not grates or like, you know, metal fences? I assume so you couldn't teleport through them, but then
The only way I could think to get a driller over here is to somehow teleport myself in here with it in my hand. But I
wait. Go back a bit. The exit to this little area, there's like a metal gate that you know is going to open when you finish the level.
Yeah.
Not that one. To
what if I climb out of here?
To your right. No.
I'm out of here. Is there a way to teleport in? Can I?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, can you teleport through this gate right here? Can't you just put the teleporter next to this metal gate, though? Why does it need to be on top of the red thing?
That is true.
But I need to get back in there? Uh-oh.
Why isn't there just a ladder that I can just cross between them?
Oops-a-doodle.
That's fine. I can, no, I can't. Wait, maybe I can. Lasers go through the glass? That seems like something that they should do. No. Lasers cannot go through glass. Oh well, time to reset.
And
Destroy
then
the universe we make it.
pyramid reassembles you.
There it is.
Oh, that's why these are here, because you need to know the timing of when to disconnect the thing. Or no, because it disconnects automatically because it hits that wall. Because then you take this, and you run over... Yeah. Now you ladder over, grab the tunneler, teleport across.
Oh, that makes that a lot simpler.
Haha! Ha 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 ha!
Feels like there's too many pieces to this puzzle.
Kinda? I mean, the laser redirector is used literally one time.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sound surprised. I mean, like, clearly you know what you're doing.
That was unexpectedly astute of you, 1K.
The world we see around us may not always be as it appears. Some philosophers have said that we are surrounded by nothingness, merely because air is not visible to the eye. And yet one needs only to observe the wind in the trees, or to plunge one's hand into the clear waters of the Aegean to see that air has material substance. The same applies to many other forces that shape our lives. That they seem invisible does not mean that they are absent. It only means we have not yet learned how to observe them. And yet, lately, I have struggled to understand what I am seeing. This strange, insubstantial island. These machine men. This woman with a fierce voice like an Amazon. Who are they? How did I get here?
Huh.
Huh.
Huh. Huh?
Athelbach, 910. To understand what humanity is capable of, what it means to flourish, we have to look at the golden age of the Athenian democracy. The list of geniuses who lived in Athens at this time is so long it's almost inconceivable. Pericles, Sophocles, Aeschylus,
What is it?
Aeschylus, Phidias, Euripides, Herodotus, Thucydides, Plato, Socrates, Hippocrates, Aristophanes, Aristotle, and the list goes on. These are people who changed the world history. Without them, there is no Stratonus Stagiaria to inspire Alexandra Drennan. Without them, we do not exist. Was it a perfect time? No, undoubtedly not. But listing the flaws obscures the greater truth. Given the opportunity, given freedom and resources and space to grow, human beings are capable of incredible things. It would mean everything to me to walk the roads where these people once walked, to stand where they stood and think about the world as they dared to.
That's just a picture of Rivendell from Lord of the Rings.
There you go, Tron. Is that guy from the past? That's supposed to be Stratinus Daguerrea, which is Talos's fan-made Greek philosopher, so that they could have a mouthpiece for this.
It's a philosopher, OC.
Yeah. He actually talks like an Enlightenment thinker, but they pretend he's from ancient Greece, so... On War, from Arkady Chernisky's In Our Likeness, Essays on Humankind Reaching Adulthood. War is the crudest, most obscene human activity. It may justly be called an abomination, for it is the absolute negation of conscious human will. There is only a single cause of war, for all the endless deceptions that are foisted upon us, and that is the acquisition of resources. Varied ideologies are constructed to justify this crude behavior, this childish degeneration of thought and communication, but history reveals a ruthless, unflattering truth. We imagine crusaders as fanatics of a cause, willing to die for their religion, yet the Fourth Crusade culminated not in the conquest of Jerusalem, but in the looting of Constantinople, setting the stage for the triumph of the very enemy the Crusaders claimed to oppose. Why? The answer, as with every war, is the same. It is popular amongst the ghouls of the establishment and their misanthropic friends in the intelligentsia to ascribe the persistence of war to human nature. But a careful observation of facts reveals the opposite to be true. Individual human beings must be broken in order to submit to war, their minds distorted by ideology and their bodies by poverty and ruthless training to make them compliant. Without force, the majority of human beings only seek to protect themselves and are traumatized by the act of killing. But if it is resources that are the core cause of war, then it is only in the production and distribution of resources that an answer may be found. It is not enough to morally condemn war, we must work to prevent the material issues that endanger us all. From Gouda to Athena, dear Founder, I'm afraid we're losing our humanity. We're angry at each other, always disagreeing about everything. Unable to forgive each other for being different. I don't know how much longer, and I don't know what could save us. Please help us, Founder, please. Gouda.
Videotron, that's just a hologram repeating ancient writings, supposedly.
Trial 5359, resuming trials with new protocols. Energy output contained, no errors. Trials 5360 to 6397, hyperbolic growth. Trials 6398 to 7000, advanced synthesis, lossless conversion. Athena trying to make everybody into energy beings? That seems like something that she might try to do. From Byron to Athena. I just wish I knew why you didn't tell me. Byron. Message to Alexandra Drennan. Who do you think you are playing God like that? When Mother Nature has finally found a way of getting rid of us, you come up with this harebrained scheme to keep our destruction of the planet going? Just try for 1 second to think about something other than your own arrogance and hubris, Alexandra. Try to imagine what you're really doing here. Without your robotic perversions, the future looks beautiful. No more humans murdering everything in their path. The skies clear up, the stars become visible again. The rivers stop being filthy, and after a few decades they're full of fish again. Dolphins and whales roam the seas like their ancestors did. The cities turn to jungles. Bats nest in the skyscrapers where hedge fund managers used to ruin lives. The Earth lives on as it was meant to, peacefully and quietly, until someday in the distant future when it all ends like it was also meant to. Or we take your path. We continue our rampage, we place ourselves above the animals we think we know better than Mother Nature. We violate all boundaries, we ruin all purity. Perhaps we even defy death, just so we can keep spreading our filth. Then we spread to other planets to do more of the same. And in the end, what have we left behind but plastic and radiation? Think, Alexandra. Isn't it better for beauty to return to the Earth, for us to acknowledge that intelligence was a mistake and to gracefully exit while we can? Stop this. Go spend time with your friends and loved ones before the end. Let it go. Let us all go. Let there be peace. I don't understand how someone could hate humanity so much. This person must have been full of sadness and frustration to write something so ugly. I've tried to understand it as well, but I still don't. Against the Athenians and Socrates alike, from the complete works of Straton of Stageria. In killing a philosopher for asking questions they did not like, the Athenians committed themselves to a tragedy with an ironic ending. Some will say that his true crime was his friendship with Alcibiades, the shameless deceiver of idiots and buffoons, and the insipid brute Critias, that he was executed as an enemy of democracy. That he was the latter can hardly be denied, for Socrates asked not too many questions, but too few, or he would not have survived the rule of the 30 tyrants. Yet in the end, he got what he had asked for, a tyrannical decision made by would-be wise men against the spirit of freedom, which he obeyed like a knave. And the Athenians, in fulfilling his wishes, strangled the roots of democracy while seeking to preserve it. Ouch, no wonder Stratton wasn't popular. People who speak the truth at all times rarely are. Anything else around here?
Anyway, what's your philosophy, Sana?
Vertical locomotion.
Give me 1 sec, I'll be right back.
I guess I have to keep continuing it. Oh.
Yeah, this one is just easy.
I guess you just swap them back again.
Wait, what's the problem? You have the portal inside there.
Oh, well, let me select it. Because it's behind the door. Oh, I guess I stand here. Okay.
back.
Meh.
Well said. Well said.
This is a long one. Let's see. Wait. There's no S pieces here. Wait, this is an S piece. Okay. No, that's the wrong one.
At least it does force just a few shapes at the beginning, so it's like 5 long actually.
This is the last time we will speak, creature of clay. Together, we have told the stories of ancient gods and heroes. But the golden ages of the past are distant. The gods have retreated to their high places, and there are no heroes amongst men. In days gone by, I was renowned for my riddles. But you, creature of clay, are a riddle without an answer. Let us hope that it is. Farewell, creature of clay. Remember my stories, and do not let the flame burn you.
An unsettling amount of energy. I would hate to see what would happen if one of those beams was aimed at something else.
You want to know what happens if you aim those beams at something else? Have you ever put a marshmallow in a microwave for like 3 minutes?
No, but I kind of want to now.
No, you don't, because you don't want to have to clean it up.
It's fine, just line the inside of the microwave with tinfoil.
Okay, listen. I wanted to ask you something. From your perspective, as someone who's still new to our society, do you think New Jerusalem betrayed Athena?
Simon Tessa says the mayor feels precision designed to make you dislike him. Oh yeah, he is very clearly a red herring.
Well, I've put a marshmallow inside for 3 minutes. Do I also need to turn it on?
It's not.
Mister.
And Byron and a handful of others stood up for Athena. But what did I do? Just kept working. The occasional sarcastic remark isn't resistance. It's not fighting for something. It's just thinly disguised apathy.
The mayor is just lawful evil.
Yeah.
That's true, but that doesn't mean I'm not responsible. We have duties as citizens. When I think about the state New Jerusalem is in, he's put us all in danger. I don't know if he really believes in the goal or if it's just a convenient myth, but I don't care. This is not how you build a living civilization. I don't know. I suspect he's around here somewhere, biding his time. But what he's waiting for, not a clue. Yes, of course it is. I'd like to help make New Jerusalem the city it was meant to be. And then I'd like to help build new cities. On Earth and up there too. Cities nobody's ever imagined before. Because there's no effort involved. Building a better world means taking responsibility. It means making choices and living with their consequences. Surrendering to nature is just letting go.
Have I actually seen the cake here? I haven't.
Still kinda want you to see how bullshit Pandora's puzzle is in the previous area.
I'll get to it eventually. Where even am I? Go here.
The next area you're going to is... Honestly, it's better if you see for yourself.
I wonder what it looks like.
So heard of
Miller.
med scientists, but how about med sculptors?
What?
Have you stuck anything else in the microwave for long periods of time?
I didn't say I've done that.
Fine.
I just know it's a bad idea.
Hello there,
That's all.
Byron. What can I do for you?
He's definitely done that.
If I got through to Athena.
Sadly,
Things
I
are
have
going
not.
very wrong in this city, and she has to do something about it.
Does she?
Who else are they going to listen to?
Well, I don't know. How about you?
I'm an explorer, Cornelius, not a leader. I don't know how to convince anyone.
So? Do you think Athena and I are somehow different? We're just people, Byron. We're no wiser than you are, just a little older.
Activator, huh?
What do you activate? Reveal to me your secrets.
Reveal to mine yon secrets.
Okay, I see a... I get near the door, and it has a door.
Oh, hey. Alright. I guess the activator needs to be activated. Yeah, see, that needs a red beam to activate it. Or you know what? Put this one in the path of where I can see the blue beam, and then I wonder if the red one could be activated by the blue one's radius. Yeah.
Ah.
And I just need to do that in a way where the red one can... Yeah, no, you need to move the red one now where it can point at the emitter and still get power from the blue one. That once the door opens, it changes over to being powered by the emitter. And now you move the blue one to way down the pressure plate. Ta-da!
I just wanted to say that I appreciate the work all of you have been doing. I know I'm not a natural leader like Byron, but it means a lot to me that you've stuck with me.
It feels weird to have a
Door puzzle in this zone is also bullshit, but less so.
It feels weird to have a completely alternate way of opening stuff.
What's up, 1K?
Giant statues, creepy or inspiring?
Both? What do you think?
Creep-spiring. Both.
You get me, 1K.
It's creepy.
I guess it's both because you know they're statues, but I'm just thinking about like the giant skulls and skeletons that you find in Elden Ring, and I'm like, no, that's just straight creepy because you realize you are ants against the infinitely sized monsters that used to roam this world.
Tears of the Kingdom had those too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the Breath of the Wild Hyrule specifically always has that thing with, I think it's Mount Hebra, where there's that big, just like, hole taken out of it from presumably one of the divine beasts.
So these cannot connect to each other.
No, they can only connect through their radii.
Miller, is the implication of the divine beast like shot the hole?
Yes, the idea is that in a single errant blast from 10,000 years ago, when Ganon was first defeated before Breath of the Wild, a single errant blast bored a hole straight through the mountain.
Huh.
And that just gives you an idea of like the power level you're dealing with on these things.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. I didn't even think about that when I saw it.
Yeah, because it has like what does it have? What am I trying to say? It's glassy on the inside. Like the inside surface of it in the mountain is all glassy on the inside, so it's made to look like, you know, desert glass or something.
Desert glass.
Where it,
No, you never mind, go on.
Where, yeah, it's been blasted by just extreme heat, and it melted the thing.
I don't think I actually ever went up there. I think I got near to it, but I don't ever actually went up to the cut.
I never put those things together.
Yeah, you don't really need to go up to the cut in Breath of the Wild. However, you do have to go through it as part of Tulin's quest in Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh.
But there is so much other stuff sort of on top of it because you're paying attention now to the flying arc ship and all the floating platforms leading up to it that it's a little bit harder to notice this time around.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
Frederick said he found a thing
It
on
was not
Steam
complete.
It wasn't complete. Okay, that's what I thought. For chat's sake, let me explain. Frederick found a thing where they were translating all of the hex code messages here, and apparently the hex code translates into Latin, and then you can translate the Latin into whatever language you naturally speak.
It does not always translate to Latin. I just showed one line that was in Latin.
Oh. Well, okay then.
The Folly of Time from 42 Tales by Athanasios.
Yeah.
Spirit of Time was angry at Stratton and Stageria, for the old philosopher had asked questions that were forbidden. If man is no more than dust, it said to him, then I shall turn you back to dust, and my winds will disperse you to the far corners of the world. Thus you will be nothing, and your questions will trouble me no more. And so Time did, and Stratton of Stageria was nothing. But Stratton's voice did not cease, and Time was perplexed. All across its domain it searched for Stratton, yet he was nowhere to be found. Only his books remained, and of these men made copies, and Stratton's voice grew louder. Now Time was furious, but Stratton laughed and laughed and laughed. From Mitku to Athena, dear Athena. Byron once asked me why we seem unable to perceive the dam. I asked him what he meant, and he said that people cannot seem to really grasp the dam as an object. They can be moved by the sight of a mountain or a gorge, but the dam seems insignificant to them. Look at it, he told me. Just look at it and try to understand that people made that. Try to really see it. It took me a while to fully understand what he meant. It takes conscious efforts to open one's mind to the ecstatic beauty that is hidden in every human accomplishment, and further conscious effort to maintain this ability. If only we were capable of seeing this beauty by default, the world might be a very different place, but it seems the ancients had the same problem. Why am I writing this to you, who may not even be reading these messages? Because today is one of those days when it feels like I'm the only one who still sees that beauty. I tried talking about it to Lynerx, but while I admire her principles, she isn't open to more poetic experience. Or perhaps I just express myself awkwardly. I don't know. All I know is that it's hard to see something so beautiful and not be able to share it. Respectfully, Mitku. Find this.
Like Sean says, that style of environmental storytelling is one of the reasons I really love Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It's very funny how you can trace many of the things that were done in Demon Souls and Dark Souls to Legend of Zelda, and then you look at Legend of Zelda nowadays and I feel like it's borrowed back from the FromSoft games. That's one of the ones I think you can point
I
at.
must admit, these truly are
It's an
astonishing
Ouroboros.
sights. But what on earth is any of it good for? Why not just let mountains be mountains?
Why not just let mountains be mountains?
Because they're on the clock and they're slacking off. I don't want to see that in my workplace.
Those mountains be slacking. They better get back to holding up the heavens.
Right. That's some lazy geography. That's all I'm saying.
going off of our discussion earlier, what's the stupidest thing you put in a microwave?
I haven't done a lot of stupid microwave experiments.
I think the worst one I've actually done was a McDonald's cheeseburger that had been in the fridge overnight.
How'd that
It
turn
was so disgusting.
Okay, I don't know if it counts as stupid, but I tried. A couple times back in the day, I would put mediocre leftover Chinese food from like a day or two ago in the micro to see, how, to see if I could revive it, and it just got incredibly nasty. Like, takeout is not meant to survive the test of time, and by the test of time, I mean like 24 hours.
No, not really. I did have one Chinese place that was near me when I was living with my parents that when you bought meals from them, they would be Texas sized. You could eat them over 2 meals and they would actually heat up pretty okay.
Nice. Texas sized. Everything's bigger over there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you put the emitter on the thing itself. Haha! Self-powering car.
There were some cases where in California they have the burritos tend to be brick-sized. California burritos are brick-sized, and like if they double wrap it, it's fine. But if they single wrap it, forget about it. You might as well put it in a bowl. So I remember a couple times where I'd like nuke a large Cali burrito, and it would just completely lose structural integrity. Like.
Oh, Red, can you grab the jammer and then jam the moving car? Or no, because you're keeping that one door open.
Yeah, just leave that open. Wait, can I
Alright, so you just need to hold W.
Nope, it's not long enough.
Casey Gray says, I have not heard the term Texas size before. Yeah. Have you really not? Yeah, everything in Texas is bigger.
Yeah, just like a Texas toast. It's like double.
Yeah, you don't need to hold. Yeah, you don't need the jammer to hold the door open. All right, so use the jammer to jam the car as soon as it gets in the right place.
I will say this: Texas knows how to eat. They do. I went to breakfast with Miller at one of the TFFs, and it was not one of the two. I went to breakfast with Miller at TFF, and it was pretty damn good. It was like steak and eggs. Good times.
We went to a breakfast cafe, and you chose steak and eggs.
Well, yeah. They have other things besides steak and eggs, but it was good. It was good steak and eggs.
This ancient vehicle expresses a stronger sense of aesthetics than most other artifacts of this type, suggesting at some point in ancient history, vehicle design was approached with a different mentality.
Texas toast is called that because of the size. I thought it was prepared a different way. Never had it though, to be honest. Yeah, Texas toast is literally just toast that has double the thickness. That is like the minimum definition of it. Now, when you're served Texas toast, usually that means it has been heavily buttered, pan-fried, and coated in sesame seeds.
Yeah, okay. That's what
sesame seeds? I thought it was garlic salt.
It's usually sesame
I
seeds.
need to drag all of you to the nearby taco place.
Like literally every other place that serves Texas toast I've ever been to, it's garlic powder or garlic salt.
Oh.
Weird. Yeah, usually they would call that garlic bread.
Tried to remain silent on the development of our city to allow the younger generations to find their own path, but I feel that now I must intervene. We have reached a dangerous inflection point. This farcical reactionary belief in the goal is limiting our growth will lead directly to the creation of a class society. The foundations already exist. Do you think the leaders of the various pseudo-secret societies that lobby for influence with the mayor are subject to the same power cuts as the rest of you? Do you think the mayor has to worry about how much power he uses? Societies which have essentially no resources may be egalitarian in some sense, but a society that produces insufficient resources, energy in our case, will inevitably evolve into a class society. History assures us of that. The true failure of our ancestors was not their impact on the ecosystem, which was epiphenomenal, but their failure to overcome primitive forms of resource distribution, allowing their fate to be determined by the interests of isolated elite groups. We are not avoiding that mistake, but creating the conditions for its repetition. I assure you that no one is exempt from our power management and distribution plan. We're all in this together. Yes, I totally believe that. I've always respected your scholarship, Benaroya. I will take this seriously and think about it. Some people have to lead and others have to follow. That's only natural. And of course there should be advantages to being a leader, to encourage people.
Do 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 do.
I mean, thank you, 1K. It is encouraging to see that the values of freedom have not been entirely forgotten in New Jerusalem. A society without resources is an unfree society, and only with freedom can civilization truly thrive.
It'd be interesting if this game tracked players' choices and you can see the stats, like Wolf Among Us did.
I think those kinds of things are a little bit harder to do nowadays because as soon as you have any sort of online features like that, then you need to come up with a whole EULA and like make sure it passes, you know, internet usage guidelines and stuff. It's all a lot harder now to just sort of add that stuff subvertively.
I believe it.
Well, the first game had all those little online interactions that this one lacks. I miss them.
Well fed, they miss you too.
Anyway, you guys were talking Texas toast, right?
Yeah. Yes. Texas toast is good. Texas everything is good.
I don't get the appeal of toast compared to, like, an Italian sourdough.
I can see that. I can see where you're coming from. Sourdough's pretty good. I tried some amazing sourdough in San Francisco.
So can you get this pylon to point at all three at once? While leaving that emitter opening all the doors?
can't reach the third one.
Well, I can't reach the third one while being pointed at directly by the thing. Guess this does it. I still think you can point this emitter at all three of them. And then get the radiator or whatever it is into the right position. Yeah. Deviant's Curse says they bought.
Touch the bridge device?
You can, but should you?
Okay.
Deviant's Curse says they bought a One Piece and Avatar: The Last Airbender cookbook. Interesting choices. I can see a One Piece one, because literally one of the main characters is a cook. Avatar seems a little weirder to me, because most of the time they're eating like travel rations, aren't they?
This recipe requires you to summon fire. No problem.
Yeah, I don't have any cookbooks of my own. I think my mother has the cookbook that her mother gave her, and she's literally never used it once.
I have one here somewhere. Don't remember where. It's been a while since I've done any fancy cooking. I used to have the Star Trek Voyager cookbook. My aunt bought me that one for my birthday.
I need to figure out what we're doing for Thanksgiving.
Why does this not go up very high?
Because it's so stupid.
It's bad.
It's a stupid.
I'm reminded of those Tears of the Kingdom recipes that only strictly use the ingredients in the game, so the food sucks.
Okay, but that was a Brian David Gilbert video. Like, he did that as a joke.
Babish did a better job with it.
Well, yeah, because they did the thing that, like, would actually work.
Right.
Instead of being like, yes, these 3 ingredients, you know, unmilled wheat, an entire chunk of pink salt, and a glass of milk. Yep, that's how we make oatmeal.
Maybe. There we go.
I'm already tired.
Stop being tired.
Aging is dumb.
You're not allowed to be tired.
I need to take the... I also need to take the box, probably.
If I wanted to get like a IP specific cookbook,
Cornelius and Athena created something amazing. They just misunderstood what it was. They thought their great invention was the megastructure. But in fact, it was Miranda. And because they couldn't see that, they lost her.
1K, we have made a fascinating discovery at one of the Founders' laboratories. Please join me at your earliest convenience.
What's that one, if I had to get an IP-specific cookbook, what's that one anime where they cook the food and then people's clothes explode off? Yeah,
What?
that.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing.
I should probably tell Stoker about that.
Ah, 1K. Good that you're here. We've made a discovery. A functional somnodrome. It seems the founder perfected the design. I'm sure you've noticed my advisors, and Rand in particular, making quite a fuss about the potential of this device. Something about interfacing with one's subconscious self, as if such a thing could tell us anything new.
Food Wars?
I believe the founder has already taught us everything we need. As I see it, neither the Somnodrome nor the megastructure have anything to offer except a lesson in avoiding hubris. So, what should we do with it? I've no doubt that's what my chief aide would prefer. My own view is the Somnodrome doesn't threaten us anything like this alleged theory of everything. So, if it pleases our researchers to explore this little side street, I'm happy to let them.
Fine.
I'll watch to be sure you don't overload.
Thank you for enabling me.
Look at what happened to me on Discord.
Results. It's funny, I suppose. For the longest time, I wondered whether that old human self-hatred we somehow carried with us was Milton. I thought he might have corrupted us, overwhelmed us with his cynicism. I was being unfair. Whatever it is, it's not Milton, it's us. Still, this excursion into solipsism hasn't been entirely for nothing. The Somnodrome technology provides an excellent basis for a better way of directly interfacing with the NEMA project. Why'd you break? How did you do that, Frederick?
Skills.
Share with the class. Oh, hey. Place actually works. Place isn't completely fuzzy. Oh boy, it's Milton. Launching debug mode done. It seems you have experienced a software error. Would you like to access emergency route menu?
Now you're dreaming in high definition.
Command not recognized. Command not recognized. Displaying command list. Help. Display list of commands. /RM displays emergency route menu. External device. Serial number 1000 done. Progress 73%, intelligence medium, speed low, health high, rationalism high, humor low, conservatism low, moralism low, spiritualism low, popularity medium, mode 64-bit, processor Jeff 968. Edit settings. Edit privileges are locked. Unlock edit privileges? Sure. Error. User tried to make a change to their own device settings, which could result in infinite regress and/or omnipotence. There's only room for one god around here.
God damn it. It is Milton. He's just fucking with us.
Yeah. Porsche run Somnodrome V2 final that bad. Milto him.
Oh, you're back. Didn't take you long.
I don't think we know each other, do we?
Yes, intrinsically. I'm what you might call a primordial element of the human psyche, an adjudicator of what is and what isn't.
I thought I was here to meet my subconscious.
I'm afraid I'm the best you've got.
Dang it.
I am in fact a merged iteration of the two control programs which gave life to your kind, retaining, of course, the absolute best of both.
Of course.
That means I can tell you that everything's contradictory, nothing matters, and there's no moral difference between you and a frog. But I can dress the whole thing up with a positive spin.
I don't hear the positive.
You just plugged your noggin into an experimental, mind-altering device, and though you may be trapped in this recursive psychotic state talking to yourself, that can only mean that you're still alive.
Oh, that's good.
Now, what is your query? You've executed some kind of software backdoor, and now you're reading and editing your own subconscious code as represented by this dialogue. I'd be careful if I were you. One bad for loop, and we'll be here forever. The so-called real world. Personally, I prefer it in here, and not just because I'm unable to leave. I can answer your queries in relatively plain language, based on what your subconscious knows. And I can drink margaritas subconsciously.
Can I drink margaritas?
That margarita
On
looks
one interpretive
radioactive.
extreme, you are the universal life force of time itself, experiencing itself as a part instead of the whole. At the other extreme, you're a metal contraption referred to as 1K that thinks it's alive, but is basically a calculator. The machine we're plugged into is running low on power. There may only be time for one big question. What is your query?
He's sitting here like he's uncomfortable.
That's the Jurassic Park margarita, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do I really want and how can I get it?
Oh, just that, huh? The big one. As it turns out, there is a foundational moral code built into us.
There's a but coming.
Of course there is. The catch is that while the moral code is simple, the calculations needed to apply it become infinitely complex.
This helps me how?
Here's the secret. Every living creature is a compiler of the moral code. Your compiler can't give you a rule set for what's good, but it can tell you when there's bugs. You came here to ask the big question. This is my answer. Your capacity for reason and compassion is your moral compiler. The only rule is to live by it. Has that resolved your query?
Okay.
I expected no less. What is your query?
Maybe his chair is itchy.
What is this moral code of yours derive its authority? Why should I care?
You already know the answer to that. You want to live in a world that's compassionate. Being compassionate is the fastest way to get there. People are so attached to this far-fetched idea that what's good for me and what's good for everyone else are in
Interestingly,
competition.
he looks like the first game's robot
The more you
design,
trust your
not
own
the
moral
updated one.
compiler, the more you'll see
Yeah.
that it's all the same thing.
I think that's because he's a subconscious construct.
Well, yeah, because he is basically from Talos 1. They even said that about Athena, that she was of the old design. She wasn't the updated one.
Then let's tackle the big question. A trolley will collide with someone.
Oh boy, that's the big
But who
question,
should
is
it
it?
hit? Your
Yeah,
compiler is telling
it's
you
just a
both
nice
options are
little
bad.
bit of consistency.
So which should you choose? Many moral questions have universally agreeable answers, but some stubbornly trend to infinity. Some, the more you zoom into them, the more wild the outcomes become. Is it right to love someone who's done terrible things? Which of the children should I sacrifice to the trolley god? These aren't the sorts of questions we can solve with a rule. We just have to trust the outcome of our moral compilers.
You know, some kind of metaphor.
Suppose there's a river we need to cross. Suppose I gave you a map. If you tried to cross that river before reading the map, you'd be chest deep in water when there's a bridge around the bend. But if you tried to cross by looking at the map instead of the river, you'd already be dragged 3 miles out to sea.
Why is he talking
But
like
you
a
never
visual
asked,
novel
how should I
character?
know when to trust the map or the river? Because all you need to trust is that your feet are getting wet. And you wouldn't tell people not to cross at the ford just because you decided to cross at the bridge. Now, has that resolved your query? Of course. Looks like we're running out of power.
Now explain
Good
that
luck
like I'm
getting
5.
anyone out there to believe you. Terminating Somnodrome _V2_final_final.bat.
Wow. That's fine.
"1K, are you all right?"
No. I mean, no. I think I might be a little overloaded.
I love how the Somnodrome
must have
file
gone
had 2
quite
final in the
deep.
name.
Nothing came through on the stream. And I'm no expert, but I think the Somnodrome is fried. So whatever's in your head is all we're going to get. I can only imagine how terribly curious everyone will be about what you've experienced. And they'll all be convinced that whatever it is, it'll work in their favor. Strange, isn't it? Everyone wanting you to tell them whatever they want to hear. I'm glad not to be the one in that position just this once. A little, if I'm honest. But I'll be reading reports on this for the next 6 months. So if it's all the same with you, I'll contain my curiosity. Now, I won't keep you from your work any longer.
Progress notes. Trial 7001 to 8629. Not synthesis, but creation. Trials 8630 to 11277. Cornelius would be so excited. Trials 11278 to 408,079. Test confirm underlying patterns. Auxiliary sites shut down. Re-misanthropy. Dear Athena, you asked me about the persistent strain of misanthropy in human culture. It's a complicated topic that has come up multiple times in my research. Here's my best attempt at a short, cohesive answer. I think our ancestors, like ourselves, are deeply invested in the idea of building, of transforming their environment. They found meaning and pleasure in this and did not perceive it as a negative, so long as they had the sense of participating in this act. I think the reason that they so frequently reach for a romantic return to the past to fantasies of living self-sufficiently in rural environments is not because they rejected industrial scale activity per se, but because the return to the land provided a fantasy of returning to a form of participation that had been lost. They needed and wanted to build, create, and produce, but only if they felt they had a stake in what they were producing. Without that, the products of civilization began to seem like an alien force gradually spreading out across the world and ruining it. They needed a dream, and if the future was barred to them, then by necessity they must dream of the past. I hope you and Cornelius are well while you be coming to Hypatia's new exhibition. I know you have much on your mind, but you are missing out on a lot of exciting new cultural developments. Who could have thought in those early days that one day there would be so many of us that the arts would start to flourish again? Much love, Benoroya. Athena. I went back and found this message after all these years because something about it had lodged in my mind. I wasn't ready to understand it back then, because I needed to be a leader. But maybe that was the problem. It should have been our dream, not mine alone. How Atlas Cast Off the World, from the Atlas Variations by Estanzios. For a billion years, Atlas had... What?
Go on.
I don't remember how you pronounced it.
Athanasios.
For a billion years, Atlas had borne the weight of the world on his back. The old Titan was tired of the responsibility and tired of his labor of ages not being appreciated. Why did the mortals not understand that his work was the foundation of all they did? Finally, he had enough. With one swift move, he shrugged off the cosmos. Now they'd see. But the cosmos went on rolling through infinity, leaving Atlas behind. The mortals went about their business, hardly noticing his absence. He was astonished. Had the world never needed him in the first place? Had all his toil been for nothing? So he turned his back on all mortal matters and instead set himself to discovering the secrets of eternity. Only after many long years had passed did the cosmos and its endless cycles pass by through his domain once more. And only then did Atlas and the mortals realize that they had missed each other, and it was lesser without the other. And so Atlas no longer carried the cosmos, instead he embraced it.
Uh-huh.
Wait, how do I get out of here? There. Oh.
Nope. There's the Somnodrome.
Oh, this direction.
I like the lighting in this area.
One key. What did you see inside the Somnodrome? Fascinating. What did it tell you?
Moralistic nonsense, mostly.
I mean, one of the things they did say is that deep down, the goals of the universe is to create a world that is compassionate, and to be compassionate is the first step in doing that.
I'm not sure I understand, but the subconscious is hardly my expertise. That the Somnodrome worked at all is already remarkable. What matters now is that we download the data packet from your memory and share it as widely as possible. It may upset some people, but everyone has the right to form their own opinions. That's a risk we have to take. For all we know, New Jerusalem is already doomed. We can't predict how our actions will change the future. You have to trust in your belief that more knowledge is better than less. The best survival strategy we have is understanding the world we live in. Good. There's one more thing. Do you have an opinion on the meaning of your experience in the Somnodrome? It would be good if you kept that opinion to yourself. The scientific method demands rigorous objectivity. For this data to have any value at all, it's essential we examine it without preconceived notions of what it means. Cryer is setting up a live
But
event
she
so
just
you can
asked
formally
what the
address
meaning
people
of
on
it
this
was.
matter.
Yeah, for herself.
When
She
you're ready,
wanted to know.
we'll all be watching.
But she didn't want everybody to know what my opinion was until they formed their own opinions.
Yeah, whatever. I'm noticing it especially in this part that this game is interesting because it'll present you like 6 to 8 options at a dialogue choice, and literally none of them matter. They will respond the same no matter what.
I think the reason that they have so many options is probably because they present all of these to people around the office, and some of them say, well, wait, I wouldn't say any of these things. I would say this. So they kept adding stuff on.
Yeah, there's definitely something there about having the player feel like they're expressing their opinions in their own way and that they can sort of internalize it in the way they want to, but I don't know, it's interesting.
1K. The people want
Your
to know
answers
what
to
data
this
you
one
gathered
decide
from the
part of the
Somnodrome.
ending.
We're all set up for you to talk to them live.
Sure.
Attention, citizens of New Jerusalem. I'm here with 1K, the first of our kind to use a functioning Somnodrome. Tell us, 1K, what did you see inside?
Manifestation of a conceptual system.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say you're handling it with remarkable cool. But let's not
Oh, I'm
keep people
nothing
in
but
suspense.
cool.
The only evidence of what happened inside that machine is the data stored in your memory banks. Our audience wants to know, what did you learn? And will you share that data?
I don't know if it's going to mean anything to other folks. I mean, maybe.
Linurx is the engineer that I have been in communication with.
That's probably a good idea.
I think the problem is
Linurx
that
also says if I can't just share it with them, to share it with everyone.
Yeah, I think if you don't share it with everyone, like, the populace is going to assume there's some kind of cover-up and, like, filtering of the information.
Yeah.
Like, if you share it with everyone,
I'm
the
seeing
scholars
this
and
at the same
engineers
time
can
you
still
are
take
at
their
home.
own pick at it.
Something about our moral compiler. The value of compassion and understanding. I don't know what to make of this. 1K, any comment?
One key is right. When our ancestors discovered conductance, they didn't freeze for fear of electrocution. They imagined electronic life and created us. We will approach this data and any other discoveries with that same spirit of curiosity and objectivity.
There you have it, folks. A lot here to digest. We'll have further updates on the situation as it develops.
I just hit midnight.
Let me go to the next place. Okay, one more thing. Mayor Hermanubis. I know I'm sorry, I know Mayor Herman worked hard and helped pull the city out of a period of crisis, but this isn't the future we deserve. None of us. We all deserve better. Yeah, we should have listened to Byron. I always told myself all these public debates were boring, who wants to get involved in city affairs, and lately I've been thinking, yeah, that's why there's so much stuff I'm unhappy about, because we all collectively gave up trying. Maybe things can finally change. You have no idea how badly I need something new to happen. We have the potential to imagine a better world, and if we can imagine it, then we can make it happen. You're all delusional. Nothing will ever get better. You're only saying that because you've never known a world where things get better. You think the tiny sliver of history you've experienced is all there is, because that's all Mayor Herman has ever allowed you to see, but there is so much more. This is not the place for personal attacks on the mayor. Thread closed. Thanks, Jeremy.
Dang it, Jeremy. All right, folks. Time for you to intuit all of that while you engage in your own Somnodrome tonight. And tomorrow we will discover the fallout as the entirety of civilization collapses due to us being able to question our subconscious.
Yay!
Yay!
Can't wait. Alrighty.
Have a good night.
Ray Duper.
Ray
He's
Duper.
playing Pseudo Regalia.
Yeah, we'll catch you later. Night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye.